Hey everyone, so let's talk about mapping here on the Apple Watch Ultra 2 versus the Amazfit Trex 3. In order to get mapping on it, with the Apple Watch, we are using the app Work Outdoors. And then from there, if you have your Apple phone on you, it will give you the map. Otherwise, you have to download part of the map to the watch if you do not want your phone on you when you're out there doing your thing. Whereas with the Amazfit, you have to download part of the map to the watch. Yeah, and that's basically how you get it on to either of these watches. And that way, as you guys can see here, you do get a nice, pretty detailed map on both of these. I will say the Apple Watch, I think, is a bit more detailed. So we'll start here with the Apple Watch. If you want to scroll in and out, you just use your crown, and you can scroll in and out. If you want to move around, you just take it and you move it all around. And then if you are, or after you've moved it all around, if you want to get back to where you actually are, just go ahead and hit that icon there. It'll bring you to where you actually are with the little blue guy there. Now you can also see it does tell you street names. It will tell you other names of different locations, different buildings if it knows them. If you go to bodies of water that it knows, if we can find one here, it will tell you that as well. So if it knows like a creek's name, it'll tell you that. If it knows like a ocean's name, if you're near the ocean, it'll tell you that, which is very, very cool. Here on the Amazfit, you can do basically the same thing. It's just when you are on, there we go, hit to unlock the screen first. When you're on the map, you have to hit the top right button, go down to zoom and move. Now you can zoom in and out, like so, by either touching it or using the buttons, and then you can move it all around with your hand. One thing you'll notice is the Apple is a bit smoother than it is on here, but it's not bad, and it actually loads in really, really quick on here, just like on the Apple Watch. Then just like the Apple Watch, you do get, again, the street names. You'll get different trail names if they know what they are. Different bodies of water, different buildings if it knows what they are. Stuff like that, it'll tell you the names of. Again, once you move this all around and you want to get back to your actual location, it will lock the screen after like 2 seconds. I'm not touching the screen. Go ahead and hit the bottom right button, the back button, and it'll bring you back to where your location is. One thing I have noticed with the Amazfit, if you zoom out too far, it starts making the street names very, very wonky. As you can see here, like East Oak Street is just kind of all the way across this entire thing. Instead of being on the street, it's actually on. Whereas if we look at like the Apple Watch, you can see like the names are actually on the streets they are on. It's just when you zoom into or zoom out too far. So you zoom in, it corrects it. But it's just a little bit of an interesting thing to note there. Now both of these again will give you trails if they know the trails. The one thing I'm not the most keen on with the Amazfit here is this dark, I don't know what color that is, gray, I guess, is kind of the trail. Let me look here. We're on the same trail right there. This is the nice green dotted line is the trail on the Apple Watch. I just think the Apple Watch does this better. Same with Garmin, where it gives you nice colors for the trails. On the Amazfit, it just kind of all blends together. You can see like that's dark gray, and then you have like the streets are almost the same color down here. To me, it just kind of all blends together on the Amazfit, but it does give you trails if it does know them. Of course, same thing with the Apple Watch. Now, another thing to note there, for me personally, the times I went hiking with this watch, the trails I was on, it did not actually know there were trails there on the Amazfit. It's probably more of a in my area type of thing, but it just didn't know, like, so like here it knows like the trails right there. But on the few hikes I did do with this, it did not actually know the trail I was on, even though some of the trails were pretty major trails. Whereas with the Apple Watch and sitting with my Garmin, they have known the trails each time. Then a couple more things to note here is with the Amazfit, you actually do have a backtrack feature. So we get off of this. If you go off of the map, actually, you hit the pause, the top right button, go down to navigation. You do have some other stuff up here, but you also have this back to start point. So you have backtrack or straight line return. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but as far as I know, the Work Outdoors app does not have a backtrack feature on it. I could not find it, at least in my searching through all the menus. So that is one thing the Amazfit does have. Another thing is both of these can have routes imported into them, so we can follow a route. So if you're doing a race or something like that, you can import the route into your watch and then follow the route from there. And then I would say the Apple Watch is actually a bit more detailed. And like I said, to me, it gives you better like trail lines than the Amazfit does. But of course, it is very nice having the trails on the Amazfit if it knows that they're there. And then, of course, we have a very big thing here is going to be the pricing. So this is still $800 if you buy it brand new. This is only $280 here in the US. So there's a big difference in price. And I think for most people, either of these would be awesome. But you guys can let me know what you think. So that was a basic map overview of the Apple Watch versus the Amazfit. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you all have a good one. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.